So we had an ongoing project that we did other pieces for this house. It's newly built, and they asked me if I could do these architectural panels. We've never done this before. It's made of black walnut, and there was a lot to learn about it. So in a few minutes here, we'll show you how we did it. So first we had to get raw lumber and then plane it, join it, and then glue it up. And then we surfaced it on the CNC machine, and then we cut it into the squares. And this is going to be a diamond pattern. I had to sand the top first because once the diamond pattern is cut, then it's really hard to try to sand it, and there is not much room for mistakes because the lines are very exact. And here you can see me just doing that, just sanding up the panel up to 150, and then the CNC machine gets adjusted, and you can see it here that we are cutting with a 120-degree bit, and here you can see how the CNC cuts it. It was a very long process. We cut several pieces. It was 5 panels, but we messed up a couple. And we also had a pretty major CNC malfunction, so we had to fix that in the middle of all this. So here you can see it's coming to completion, cutting the V groove into the panel. And here you could see that the machine takes extra space to cut these grooves. The panels were 46 inches wide, and we really had to push the limit switches on the CNC machine, and we barely missed the edges. But we had to make these panels, so that was the largest we could possibly come up with without damaging the equipment. I had to leave the dust chute off the CNC machine because it was so close to the edge that it popped it off when we tried to keep it on. So that's why you see there is no dust chute on the CNC machine. So we just had to clean it up frequently, blow it off with compressed air. The other interesting thing we learned is that the panels had to be perfectly flat. Even an 1/8 of an inch or a 1/16 of an inch difference were shown on the pattern. And we had to flatten the CNC table and make these panels very flat. And also our clamping methods were very limited, so we used wedges and tiny screws on the bottom to secure the piece for the CNC milling process. The program itself took probably about an hour and 15 minutes to cut all the grooves, and the program picked a particular sequence that you see here. One of my friends helped me program it. He does all my CNC programming, and you can see here a little closer on how the bit is basically going around and around and cutting these grooves. It cut the main depth on the first pass, and then it ended up cutting a small tiny bit off at the end. Then we had to do some prep work and get it into the spray booth. There was a lot of sanding in the little grooves. We had to make a little jig to sand it without altering the shape and the pattern. And here you can see I'm using an ML Campbell vinyl sealer to seal the panels. And I am sealing the top right now. I like to do the top first with a couple of coats and then flip it around and do the bottom side completely to a done, which was 3 seal coats, and then flip it back up and do the finish coat on these panels, which was a crystal dull also ML Campbell product, but it was a post-catalyzed crystal dull product. So in this next section here, you could see the panel, how it looks and how it comes out when I start spraying it. I really like the transformation when you spray the walnut with the lacquer-based finished. It comes out really nice. Most of these architectural panels, they made overseas and they come with a composite material, and it's a print, it's not real wood. So you could actually feel the difference. On the end, you will see the video when it's all done, and even the people in the building who work there told me that it feels different having it made out of real wood. So after the seal coats were done, I ended up putting all 4 panels in the spray booth, and I used the crystal dull post-catalyzed conversion varnish to finish it off. And there was a lot of preparation going into this, which we did not anticipate. And it was a very long and slow process for us. Part of the reason is because the machine broke down, and you can't really cut this without a machine. It's just how it is. You can't cut it so evenly by hand with jigs. So we had to just bite the bullet and fix the machine. On this journey, our main motor burned out, so I had to get a brand new one, and I had to drive pretty far, almost 6 hours, to pick up a new one because they couldn't ship it to us on time to be finished with the actual panels. So I ended up driving 6 hours away from Tampa Bay and picking up the new motor and then installing it. And here you can see me spraying the crystal dull top coat on it. And we actually, once we finished spraying these, I screwed some French cleats in the back, and that's how we ended up fastening this to the wall, which you will see later in the process. The project had other parts to it, like these trim here, which was 3/4 by 1.75 inch, and you will see on the final design and install how this is helped to make this wall look really cool. And I'm just putting it through my Jet 2550 drum sander, which is very useful. I don't use it a lot, but here was a great help, and it got me done real fast. It was late night when I was doing it, so I was very happy to have this tool and get this done real quickly. So here you can see we are on site and we're putting in the panels. We had to build from the door side over, and we did run into a little bit of a difficulty with the plumb of the wall, but we luckily gave enough room on either end that ended up working out perfectly, and you could see the panels being installed with the French cleat. We had a pretty strong framing behind the wall, so it was very easy to put it up there, and eventually we had to get on the scaffolding because we couldn't reach all the way to the top. Here my friend Bob had to get up the top because the scaffolding has a weight limit, and I am just right at that threshold, so I'm not I wasn't taking my chances to go up there, and there was a lot of cutting that had to be done on the bottom, which I was more inclined with, and Bob ended up just doing the installation on the top. But you could see here putting up the final panels. We unfortunately messed up the smaller panels when we shrink wrapped them. It was too tight and broke some of the pieces that we made, so we had to fix these. Luckily, the braking wasn't all the way through. It was just slightly cracked, mainly from the fastening point, and then we ended up making the final panel. We glue these panels on also with liquid nails, construction adhesive, and we also mechanically pin nailed them to the wall. Here you can see the final product of the panel being installed. You can see that white strip there. There is actually an acrylic piece will go in there that's backlit from the back, and it's got a stainless steel mesh in the middle, and here you can see it. Today we ended up going back to stain a couple of more things, and that's how it looks.